I love how the banter hasn't stopped. I've had a break in podcast, but you giving me shit hasn't ceased.
No.
Likewise. Equally throwing it back at you. All right. So we got...
Yeah. I think we're set.
We're good. This is quick.
I think we're good.
Season 4.
Season 4, episode 1.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Boom. And like that, we were back.
We were back. Our eps per month ratio is terrible this year.
When did we do that podcast? When did we do that podcast with Stu?
I feel like we must have recorded that in January.
So,
I feel like we got off to a really strong start with 2 eps in January.
And it's been 2 months.
It has. It's nearly April. Yeah.
So us being starting this episode and saying it's season 4, like we're seasoned podcasters now, if we just kept our normal 2 weeks, we'd probably be up to season 4.
We would.
By now.
Potentially. We'd be getting close.
Yeah.
We'd be getting close.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt. I'm joined by the other half of the podcast, Katie. Every week, we are a podcast called Skip the Beat, a podcast which is loosely based on music. Thank you for jumping in, whether this is your first time or whether it's your... What episode are we up to? 18 something?
Yeah.
18th time?
Maybe.
Welcome along or thank you for coming back and putting up with our silliness and nonsense and somewhat musical chat and knowledge and experience and stories and all of that.
Yeah. All that good stuff.
The other thing is we haven't done a podcast since January, but also realised today I haven't seen you since, the mid-Feb.
That's right.
Over a month.
Yeah, that'd be the longest time we've gone for a while without seeing each other. Do you think? Maybe?
I'd say so. I've been here.
While. So have I. I've been 10 minutes away, but just...
There's been a few messages. We've done the reel sharing.
We've shared a shit ton of reels on Instagram.
85% of them you sending me videos where the end result is someone giving me the finger.
That's right. Yeah. I've really stuffed my algorithm up there because that seems to be all I see now, and they all get sent to you.
So I started sending them back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that has been the sum total of our communication for the last 6 weeks.
I'm all fine with it.
I wanted to do a quick follow-up
Okay.
after the Stu episode. I hope everyone enjoyed our bit of a different format when we had a chat to Stu Larson back in, I think we might have dropped that one in Feb, I can't remember. And we talked, a big part of that podcast, one of the segments we did was about monthly followers on Spotify. I just wanted to check in to let everyone know that, as predicted, Stu's followers have dropped back down to about 400,000, which is what he predicted would happen once the Christmas season was over.
Only.
Yeah,
Tough.
yeah, we all wish.
Must be nice.
We all wish. And while I was there checking in on Stu's stats, I stumbled upon the monthly listeners for a little band we used to be in together called Remember 7, which is somehow still on Spotify. We don't know how we're still there.
Normally you have to pay a yearly... This is what... I don't know who is hosting it or where it's through, what distro it's using.
Yeah.
But it's there.
It's still sitting there. There's a few albums up there from a band Matt and I were in together a long time ago now.
20 years ago.
Do you want to take a guess at how many monthly listeners Remember 7 has on Spotify?
18.
Oh, that's generous. That's generous.
Okay. 4.
A little bit more
better.
than 4. I think when I checked around the time we were looking at Stu's, it was around 3 or 4. When I checked today, we had 7 monthly listeners still.
7 monthly listeners.
I could probably pick who all 7 of them would be.
Yeah, Narelle would be one.
Yeah, I reckon your mum would be one.
Yeah, there's 2.
Do you reckon Skippy Narelle might be one,
I
do
reckon
you?
Skippy Narelle would be one.
I'm seeing her this week, so I'll ask her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I reckon...
She sent me a very funny meme today about just in relation to Chicken Chat. It was great.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Narelle
it's
loves
good.
a bit of chicken chat.
That's good.
Yeah, she's into a chicken.
Basically, if you don't like my Chicken Chat, what I'm going to do is basically replace you with chickens on my chair and just keep having the chat.
Fair, done. There are a few skippies that are into it. So yeah, that's just Spotify monthly listener recap. I just wanted to to bring that up at the head of the show. But how have you been otherwise? What's happening in life?
Life general, if to give a really short answer, good and busy. Well, healthy. There's been lots happening. There was the whole cyclone thing that didn't really hit Brisbane. It was a tropical low, but still,
that was
Brisbane
a moment.
got the most amount of rain I've ever seen in 2 days in my lifetime, and fair bit of wind. But yeah, Brisbane almost copped a Category 2 cyclone. Thankfully, for Brisbane people, it kind of it saw the coastline and went nope, and went up north and kind of decreased to a tropical low, thankfully. But yeah, parts of northern New South Wales and even up to Harvey Bay got absolutely
Harvey Bay got
smashed.
slammed. Yeah.
So we did okay here, thankfully. Just one little dripping wall that we got here. But I spent it at my in-laws trying to keep their pool under control. They were holidaying in New Zealand. Must be nice. They missed it all. And they sent photos of the beautiful sunshine and mountainscapes where they were
While you were
staying.
cyclone proofing all their outdoor furniture.
Yeah,
and
just trying not to have more mud go into the pool.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's been really busy. We we haven't caught up since February when we'll get to Music Chat soon, but when we got back from Perth, there's been, I guess I'll leave any other updates for Music Chat there. But yeah, life in general has just been really good, but really busy. Lots to keep the mind occupied.
Yeah, good. I probably have had a little less to keep the mind occupied because I've been trying to make a conscious effort to do a little bit less, be a little bit more at home, riding bikes, being in my house, not always on the go so much. And yeah, I'm finding that I'm spending an inordinate amount of money on health professionals to keep my middle-aged body tracking along. So I'm just graduated from podiatry. It looks like we're finally getting my middle-aged plantar fasciitis under control. I'm now seeing a physio though for my hips.
Okay.
So I'm seeing a dietitian for my hormone related weight gain. So yeah, things are looking really good at 44 for me.
Mate,
I'm really happy.
keeping all the allied health people in business.
That's right. I should start buying some shares in the Jindalee All Sports little clinic down there. I'm there twice a week at the moment. So, and I've just been told I need to add massage in as well.
Do.
So yeah.
And they need to see you for minimum 23 sessions.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Twice a week, and then we'll slowly.
But 15% off if you book in and pay in advance.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a bargain.
Absolute bargain.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah, so that's what life's been like for me. It's been a series of medical appointments, but I'm actually feeling really good.
Good.
Yep, I was I can't stop coughing. That's not ideal for a podcast. I
Okay, mate.
during the cyclone that wasn't a cyclone, and had a bit of heightened anxiety in the old cabin because I don't live in a house like everyone else. I live in something that's more akin to like a cubby house, like really in terms of its structural integrity. There was a little bit of anxiety there, and when it sort of all amounted to not a lot, I was the same as you. I just had a few little drippy bits here and there, but everything was fine. And when that all sort of amounted to nothing, I impulse bought myself a brand new, really nice road bike. So I've been churning out some serious kilometres on the bike for the last month, trying to justify this purchase, which only has just arrived. So I haven't had much riding on it yet. I've been churning out the Ks on my old bike. But yeah, she's, I think that might have...
You've been talking about this bike for a while.
Yeah, I've wanted
It's been in the planning for quite a few years.
I've wanted a new bike for quite a while, and I had a few things around it that I said I wouldn't do it until this happened, or I wouldn't do it until blah, blah, blah.
You've achieved it all.
And I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I think I've done all the things I said I wanted to do. I can probably do that. But yeah, so it's a very nice little machine. We might at some point put something in the socials just to show everyone the glory of it.
Before or after we do the 100k run that we were going to do back
in
season 1?
The 100-metre run or the 100k run?
100-metre run.
Yeah, we'll do that at some point as well, I suppose. When we went to do the whiteboard today, episode 1 of season 3 was still on the whiteboard, and it was talked about our New Year's resolutions, and both Matt and I looked at each other and I had no idea what mine were. We're not even into April yet, but I think it was something to do with health from memory. So
For yours?
yeah, I think we both had a health-related one, didn't we, to move our bodies more?
Yes. Yeah. I'm tracking all right at the gym.
So I reckon I'm tracking pretty well on that too.
Good.
This will be my first, I'll do 1,000 kilometres this month on the bike, and that'll be my first 1,000k month in about 3 years, I reckon. So
Smashed it.
back on track. So that's life.
Okay.
We've got so much to talk about with music, so
We do.
we probably need to truck into that.
Okay.
And I reckon first things first, some Alta Falls
is Perth.
update. Yeah.
Yeah. So we met you in Perth. You were there. You did an amazing hike
Yeah, I did a 4-day hike before the crew flew in. A beautiful,
down south.
can't remember, 70k segment of the Cape to Cape Trail down in the southwest corner on the coast. Absolutely magnificent. Finished that off and then dropped my hire car back at the airport, picked up the van for the band, crashed it twice, and then picked everyone else up
Let's
from
just
the
clarify.
airport.
When you say crash, it wasn't really crashed.
2 little dingles. I took the van home to the Airbnb because I didn't have to go and pick the band up until later that night. And yeah, the Airbnb that Nathaniel and Matt had booked, the little awning that was the car parking area.
It still is.
It was allegedly where the van was going to fit. I just slowly backed in and I
Brushed it.
the van did not fit under that roof.
Yeah, absolutely no sign of damage though.
And then on the way out of trying to get out of that predicament, I just gave her another little love tap on the back corner when I ran into the wall of the house. So
It's a good thing we paid for zero excess.
yeah. Paid for zero excess, but
They didn't pick up on it.
it's not
Very minor.
It's not great for my roadie resume. Like if we're really trying to be serious about this, it's
if
not a
Stu
great
is
look.
listening to this
Yeah.
and your 2025, 2026 plans we were talking about in the last
Yeah.
episode, just keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
the tentative March, April offer that I got to tour with Stu next year might be under review, I suspect. Yeah.
But yes, you picked us up. We had, what do we have? 3 nights? 2 nights? 3 nights.
3 nights. Yeah.
So yeah, we had a bit of a busy sightseeing day.
Oh, I totally forgot we did that.
Well, yeah, there's probably a couple of reasons you forgot that it happened. It didn't start off as the best of days with your feet, and remember the whole running from the car.
Oh, that's right. Trying to get to the ferry. Yeah.
So we flew in on a Thursday late night, and on the Friday, Katie and I caught up with a mutual friend that we have we've known for many, many years. We had breakfast with her, and on the Friday morning, rushed back down the coast to Perth to pick up the band, to get down to Fremantle, to get onto the ferry to go to Rottnest Island. And look, as typical form, we weren't running late. We were running on time.
We would have been completely on time if there was
It was a
adequate
car park.
parking.
There was just no parks to be seen, so we dropped. You had really sore feet. I think we need to preload this story with your hike.
I'd lost toenails. My feet were an absolute wreck with blisters, and for some unknown reason,
When we decided that someone needs to get out of the car just to see if they can hold the ferry, Nathaniel and Scott did. You didn't, and any of us didn't either realise that it should have just been you as well, so you didn't have to run.
Yeah.
But we ended up finding a park. The 2 Katies and myself found a park. Oh, goodness me, where was it? It was across the train line, maybe
it wasn't-
500 metres?
Yeah.
400 metres?
Yeah, it wasn't a huge
far.
distance.
But we had to, they said, no, we cannot hold the ferry.
Yeah.
We literally had 3 minutes to
Yeah.
get there. We had to try and pay for parking.
Which
it
just wasn't
working.
happening.
I must say, in your stress and my stress, drummer Katie was very composed.
Nailed the situation.
Took the photo of the screenshot. She said, we can pay online when we get on the ferry, let's go. We started running. Your poor feet.
Katie took off. She
Yeah,
was there in a minute. She was fine. No stress.
She still had to wait for the train.
Yeah.
So then the train, remember
True.
the train went through and we were
Yeah, we had
like,
to wait
oh
for the
my
train.
goodness. Freight train, like
Yeah.
it just, no worries.
Yep.
We got on the ferry.
We
but
did.
Then
My body just rejected the experience immediately.
it was about 15 minutes.
I can't
full
explain what
meltdown.
happened. My body just broke down.
You did.
I had the worst abdominal pain that I can remember ever having in my life.
Your feet?
And my feet were just broken. And I was just sweating like I don't even know what
You were very
words
clammy.
to use. I was clammy to quite clammy, just pooling on the beautiful plastic fairy seats around me. And I completely forgot that this all happened. Yeah.
Sorry for bringing it up.
It was
But then it was
wild.
then done. That
Yeah,
Super Duper
and then I
did.
just snapped back to
Can
life.
you just put it on the back of your neck?
Drummer Katie again.
Just on the nape of the neck.
Found something cold for me. Got me a
Zupa
Zupa Duper. I started eating it, and she said, "How about you just put it on the back of your neck for a while?" And
And
it was
10 minutes
really-
later, you were fine.
I was
It's like you
fine.
snapped out of it.
I was completely
And we had a
normal.
beautiful day on Rottnest Island. Got to see quokkas, the most amazing scenery.
Yeah.
Went for a swim at, was it, I want to say Little Prawn Bay. It's not Little Prawn Bay. What was it? Little something.
Little prawn.
It was, what was it called? Salmon.
Salmon
Bay.
Yeah. Little prawn bay.
Little Salmon Bay. And we could have
Yeah.
been swimming in, it felt like we could have been in Vanuatu or Fiji
100%.
or something.
It was as beautiful as any island nation that I've been to, and I've been to a few.
Oh,
so,
went and saw some
yeah.
seals in the wild. Had a wonderful day. Had a much calmer walk back to the ferry to get on and
Yes.
get back to the car. Sunset dinner at a pub hotel in Fremantle.
Overlooking the ocean, the
Amazing.
old Western Coast
Yep.
sunset. Yeah.
It was great. So then the Saturday came and it was down to business. We had our show and we were really happy in the end. We kind of were told by the industry, look, an up and coming band, you've got to get to, if you can get Perth on your resume, basically on your to-do list or have done list, it's really good. Just two things: be prepared for a loss, and really if you can sell 80 tickets, you're doing well, particularly if you're going by yourself independently and not as a support or things like that. So as we're self-managed and completely independent, we worked hard and did everything ourselves and ended up selling. It's one of those weird things where people forget to come or have other things. It's always going to happen. There's always going to be people. I don't know how many people were in the room, but we sold 122 tickets. So we were absolutely stoked with that. The venue loved it that we'd sold those tickets. They were very happy. We had an amazing night. I had a lot of fun. Very different vibe. Obviously, because the setting was just a little. There was obviously nice sort of stools with tables, which I was happy about because of.
I reckon it's the most beautiful venue you've ever played in.
Stunning venue.
Yeah,
Really, really stunning venue.
It was a really cool vibe. I thought it was the perfect setting for the style of music because people still got up and danced, but if they didn't want to move around, there was just beautiful seating.
It was really, really good. So that was a
Yeah.
venue called Lyrics Underground, which was in Maylands.
And delicious snacks
Oh.
too. Oof.
Yes.
Oh, I ate a delicious pasta for dinner
Yeah.
there, and they delivered it down into the
band
venue
room.
if you wanted to eat down there while the band was on. It was really cool.
Yeah, really, really
Yeah.
cool. So, yeah, that was great. And then on Sunday, we basically hung out at the airport DFO for a couple of hours and got in a plane and came home.
Yeah.
Quick trip, 5.5-hour flight there and 4.5-hour back. But it was good. It's successful. It's done now. And since coming home, basically through the marketing we're doing, the amount of people that have registered for Perth, like the amount of people from Perth that found us saying, let me know when you're coming to Perth, I'd love to come see it. And I've been able to say, you literally just missed us.
You just missed us, yeah.
There's probably at least 30 or 40 more people.
Yeah.
So if that keeps growing, hopefully next time we go back, if we can crack 200, I'll be
Do you reckon there's a
absolutely stoked.
chance that'll be late this year or not till next year now?
I reckon probably early next year, I'd say.
Yeah, okay.
It's a big journey
Yep.
to head over. And yeah, I guess turning to what's next for Outer Falls.
Yeah, because that Perth gig finished off the
that tour.
Australian cities
Yep.
for that particular little
we
tour.
launched a single just before going over, just to get a new song out, which has been really good. I've noticed the last couple of singles, I don't know whether it's a change in. I guess it works a little bit differently when you've got a manager and a booking agent or signed to a label and things happen quicker. But we sort of found that the single got, I guess, a little bit more success or legs or response or attention after the normal sort of 3 to 4 weeks
Oh, okay.
happen. So we were blown away with how many people requested us on certain radio stations and ended up getting a spin on certain radio stations and their other smaller radio station as well. That's a 24-hour one. And kind of responses ourselves from certain presenters and people within that station. that
Yeah.
were all really positive as well, which was really good because, you go through it. So there's so many bands and musicians out there. It's extremely
Everyone's got a pitch, don't they?
Oh,
Everyone
and-
has a pitch, and it's the
Yeah.
luck of the draw.
There's only so many
sometimes.
3.5-minute slots on a radio every day.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
But yeah, look, it's been really good. We got a good response from it, and now we're in the process of working out how we can get back into the studio. So we've been working really hard, trying to connect and find new producers. There's 2 that we're waiting to hear back from,
Yep.
and we're really hoping that from April we can get back in and get these next lot of songs ready for kind of, I guess, when our next tour starts in sort of May, June.
So next show
Time.
is
Next, so we're starting again. So
Has
this
that
is
it's all been announced now, has
not officially.
Not officially?
So the
Okay.
poster's almost done.
it? Okay.
We have to get it done because I realise next week's April, and then we're already saying it's next month. So it's all good because about 6 weeks prior is a good announcement date. But we not really going on tour. It's kind of like the Ben Lee philosophy or motto.
Just play shows
You
as
just do some
many
shows.
as you can.
That's it. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
a revolving, it's just evolving, always touring. So
And hopefully always bringing new stuff to
that's
each
it.
of those shows.
Yeah, and that's what
Yep.
we're working on now. So we haven't played the latest single in Sydney and Brisbane. Working on a killer cover.
I was going to say, you need a new cover for your set for me. We need to...
Yeah, we've got it.
Good.
It's, yeah,
Perfect.
yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's.
Don't wanna know, I
No,
wanna
you
hear
know,
it.
no. You'll hear it.
Want to hear it live?
Very, very good. Nathaniel and I have been tossing back and forth suggestions, and he just suggested this one, and my response was, well, it's clearly that.
Is it something I know? Is it a
Yes.
song I know?
Yep.
Is it old or new?
Oh, do I want to give you that? You'll definitely know it. It's older.
Older? Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll fit. Oh, listen, it's one more thing I'll say. It'll fit our 80s sound perfectly.
Amazing. Well, I love it already. If it's anything 80s adjacent.
So yeah,
Make me very
we're starting to
happy.
get and prepare a new set list and a bit more of the few things we want to do to kind of just make the show that little bit better. So yeah, the Sydney, we've booked Brisbane, we've booked Adelaide, we've booked Melbourne, potentially looking at a Newcastle date, and then continually working on, well, where are we getting enough registrations to try
Yeah.
and warrant a show? Because we're still self-managed, independent. That's the other thing we're working on, which is really exciting. Is there's a few irons in the fire for potentially trying to get someone to work with us on some type of manager
Yep.
level. More so for connections. We still will do all the day-to-day stuff, but kind of to be that. What's the word I'm looking for? Like that voice for us.
Yeah,
industry.
that's in some rooms that you can't
That's
get
it.
into.
That's it. And knows
Yeah.
some people and has a voice that is a little bit more known or respected in the industry than just
Yep.
a band.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll catch up with that, I guess.
Take it
Off-
offline.
off-
Let's take that offline.
Because
That's
obviously
exciting.
there's a few things I can't say, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's lots of exciting stuff happening with Out of Falls. So
Brilliant.
that's it.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing roadie. I mean, despite the 2 crashes of the van, I haven't had my credentials stripped yet that I know of. I mean, I have booked flights. I have flights booked for one of the gigs, so I'll be maybe just doing an ambush roadie if I'm not allowed to be there. I'll just jump in
Hey,
and
you're
start
there.
taking money off people at the merch desk. But yeah, I'm excited to be around for as many of those dates this year as well.
It's going well.
Are we getting some new merch? That's a question for
Well,
me as
that's
a
the other thing
roadie.
we've got to decide
Yeah.
is we've still got, because there's still going to be a lot of new people. There's going to be some new elements of merch.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
like
Because we
for
did sell out of a few things in the last
we did.
few shows.
It's more going to be more like, I think, a new line of those accessory type things, because we still
Yep.
haven't sold enough of the T-shirts and hoodies and
To
things.
do a
but,
new run, yep.
But I think with the new people that are coming to the shows, as we keep growing, that'll be fine. But yeah, new hats, new totes, new...
And there's multiple designs of T-shirts, so if someone owns one, they can still buy the
Absolutely.
other one
Different
at the
colour.
next
Yeah.
show. So we got to,
You're
get
upselling.
Get that.
Be great.
Get that happening. Very good. Well, music chat for me, I interestingly, when we very first started this podcast, one of the big goals for me was to do something on my one-woman show. And for whatever reason, I've just
Including a
been...
man.
You what?
Including a man.
Yeah, one-woman show with a bonus man, Matthew. I just have been really stuck and just not able to do anything. And our mate Stu, who we interviewed last time on the pod, he's been in Brisbane for a while recording and had connected with a guy who's riding his bike around the world. So there was all this synchronicity because I also love bike riding and I obviously love music. And so I started following this guy too. And Stu and I were chatting a lot and he said he's coming to Brisbane, he's riding in. I'd love to just put on like a house gig for him to play some music, So I'm talking to Matt and Matt's like, yeah, that'd be great. Any opportunity we get to see Stu. And it was going to be in one of my favourite Brizzy house venues. A good friend of mine, good friend of mine, Marty Lumsden.
You question that? I wouldn't, Marty. You're a good friend of mine.
They run it. Well, just like, am I being presumptuous? I really like her a lot, but maybe she doesn't like me. This adult friendship's hard, man. Her and her husband bought an old church and have converted it into one of the most beautiful little music. They live there, but it has a beautiful little venue space where they go to put on house concerts. And I've been to a number of things there. So Stu was organising this house concert for his mate come play. He was going to play. A couple of other great artists were going to play. And he initially threw out to me and said, would you want to come and tell a few stories, sing a few songs? And I said no. Like I said that's too scary. I don't want to do it. And then I just got so mad at myself because I thought, here I am saying I want to do this thing, and a really beautiful opportunity gets put in my lap, and I just was too scared to do it. So it made me do a whole lot of soul searching, and I ended up going back to him and saying, well, I checked with you first and said, look, if there's still a spot available, would you come and play with me? Because I think I really need to do something to just get this monkey off my back. And so then I went back to Stu and said, is there still a spot? And there wasn't a spot. So I missed the opportunity to do it. But the up and up of it all was that I went through all of that thinking in my head. And when I finally went back and said, hey, I actually do want to do it, I really meant it and I wasn't scared anymore. So tiny shift. So in 10 to 12 years, we might be putting on this show.
We'll 2 to 3 business years.
Yeah. 2 to 3 business years. Yeah. And on top of all of that, the gig unfortunately didn't go ahead because that was the weekend of the cyclone.
Of all the rain.
Yeah. So
it was a shame.
So in some ways, it was kind of the fact that I wasn't doing it and then it was sort of a missed opportunity, but not a missed opportunity. So, yeah. But other than that, music chat for me, I've been to a bunch of gigs.
Looked at your flute.
Yeah, I've looked at my flute.
Touched the flute and said, oh, yes, I'll do a gig.
Yeah,
and felt
almost
really
did
positive
a gig.
about it.
Almost
We're on the right
did a
track.
gig. Yeah, I think it's considered movement,
Okay,
right? Like it has to be considered progress.
Moving forward.
Yeah. I feel like I've been to more shows than I can remember, but the three I wanted to quickly mention, old favourite, Kate Miller-Heidke.
Yes.
I flew down to Sydney and took my dad and stepmum, and she was as good as she ever is. Alana Stone supported her, who's also a great singer-songwriter, does more electro-type stuff. She's plays in a lot of bands as well. She plays in Missy Higgins' band. Wonderful musician. I got sucked in by her organic cotton T-shirt, so I've bought that. So I'm always on the lookout for merch from just keeping my eye on the merch space. It's not so much about the music for me anymore. It's more about
the merch.
Yeah, it's more about what merch is on offer.
Well, mate, I've seen you use certain shirts as sweat rags, so it's
that's right.
Yeah,
I don't always wear them. Sometimes I just use them as a sweat rag. That's exactly right. I also went to a pub choir for the first time in a long time. So, and
is that when I sent you the screenshot? And I was like, "Is that you?"
Is
and
that
you're like,
me?
"No, but it kind of looks like me."
Yeah, Matt found my doppelganger because every time pub choir comes, they release the footage after it, like spliced together of the shows, and there was someone that was
watching it. I was like,
it was very much me, and it was at the venue I was at, but I was right at the back of the room, so definitely wasn't me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing run by Astrid Jorgensen, who is just hilarious, but also just so talented, so clever. It's such a beautiful concept, and I'm so happy for her and her team that it just keeps going from strength to strength.
And not
touring in America, just
doing
it sells out in minutes every single time they release a date. So that was cool. But the big gig that I've been to since we last recorded was I was one of the lucky ones. I got to go and see Billie Eilish. Unfortunately, it was at the Entertainment Centre, which is just a dumpster fire of a venue.
Only a few years to go.
Yeah.
Only a few years and Roma Street will be open.
Surely we don't have to keep trekking out there for too much longer. We got the train, which wasn't too bad, but I would have to say, in a nutshell, Billie Eilish, it was everything I hoped it would be.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing wrong with the whole night had nothing to do with her.
It ended.
Yeah, well, that was it made me feel really old because the level of noise in the room and people, just teenage girls screaming, was unbearable at times. It was so loud. And we were right up the back. Normally up the back at the Entertainment Centre, it's pretty chill. But the energy in the space, it was like nothing I'd ever been part of. It was more energy than when I was at Taylor Swift. But that could be because it was a closed
roof.
Yeah, closed roof. But yeah, the level of energy was next level, to the point where it was too much at times, and to the point where it was so much that you couldn't actually hear what Billie Eilish was singing or saying. So the first probably 5 songs, I'm not sure that I heard a thing that was not an exaggeration. I didn't really hear much that was happening from the stage. People sort of settled down at some point, but when I could hear, she was it was sensational. The voice is better than you can imagine it will be. It was so good. And I feel very lucky that I went. I did get sucked into buying a $1,000 t-shirt there as well. Her merch was the most expensive merch I've ever seen in my life, but I think it's because it's all ethically sourced. There's a lot of media around how they source the things that they use for their merch, and that it's all made in America.
Justify how they then can charge
an enormous amount of money for a t-shirt that I'm yet to wear. So
and scared to wear.
That's Music Chat. I think we need to bust on.
Yeah. I quickly, while I was on Music Chat, actually I've completely forgotten what I was going to bring up. This is great chat.
Oh, there's something that you've written there on
I was going to say,
Music
yes.
Chat.
So I'm going to a gig in a couple of weeks' time, Holy Holy, who are one of my favourite bands.
Is it sold out yet?
I think so, because they've put on a bunch of extra shows in all other cities, because it's their grand hiatus. They are stopping.
Which is sad for you.
Yes.
Very sad.
Oscar, who has done a lot of mixing and even co-producing for the latest 2 singles we've done, he lives in London. Tim, who is the other half of Holy Holy, he's moving to Sweden. Sweden, one of those two. He's moving over there, so they're just it's not a break. It's a permanent hiatus. So they're doing one final show or tour through May, June, and I think the beginning of July now. So, but yes, going to that in a few weeks, which is going to be.
Yeah, I remember you asked me if I wanted a ticket, and I said no at the time, but I do have a note in my diary that says, Holy Holy, buy a ticket if you want to. That's the note I've written for myself.
It's going to be good.
Maybe I should check if there are any sneakies left. Yeah.
So yeah, Music Chat. So that was, there was something else I wanted to bring up. I'll jump back in if I somehow remember what that was.
I've got 3 things coming this week: Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Gig Town for me, 3 nights in a row. So I'm getting a nice hat trick heading into the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this new segment.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to sort of introduce it and then hand over to you.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I was at a big family do, and one of my cousins, Sam, is a very dedicated skippy, offers lots of feedback, big fan of the pod. And Sam at that time was on a 1,000,000-day fast. He was on a really big fast from food to do with some just cleansing out his whatever people do these things for. And we were having a massive family barbecue, and he was just sitting there having to sniff all these delicious foods.
Chew, spit.
And just really more power to him for turning up that weekend. It was great that he was there. But one of Sam and my favourite things to do is just to talk about food and how much we love food, which is a very similar relationship that you and I have. And it's, for some reason, we got talking about Cadbury chocolate. I don't know, it seemed like an hour that we were talking about Cadbury chocolate flavours and what were our top flavours. And it was just a wonderful conversation. We loved every minute of it, talking about what we loved, why we loved it, why we didn't. Probably a week later, Sam was in Woolworths And Skippy Sam sends me a photo and he says, every block is half price this week. You've got to go in and get it and do some Choccie Chat on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent that to you. Skippy Sam also knows Matt very well. Good friends, I'd say. Probably similar to me and Marty.
Yeah, great friends.
Good friends.
We've had some chats about roller coasters and
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's some content in that at some point.
And first class tickets for $3.50.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah, Skippy Sam is the master of travelling on frequent flyer points. And I've learned a lot from him. So anyway, we thought we wanted to do Choccie Chat because we love Choccie, and Matt and I have vastly different tastes in some areas and vastly similar tastes in other areas of chocolate. There's some filthy things that he enjoys that I do not, and I'm sure likewise.
Absolute vice versa, really.
And we weren't sure how we were going to do it, and we don't want to take hours, but basically Matt's prepared something, and I think the theory is that we're going to have Choccie Chat as a recurring segment for a little while to get to the point.
Flavours.
Yeah, to get through several flavours a week, and then we'll probably get into some sort of putting some of these flavours through to the playoffs and then into the finals.
I think so. But I had a thought about it because it's going to be, if we're doing, what if your favourite chocolate, like what you would rate number one, I've put at the back of, I wouldn't even give it a sniff, or vice versa. Like...
We might have to individually rank them.
I think we need to do a joint one so that you and I can come to a conclusion of, right, for both of us, this is
the skip
number
the beat.
one.
This is the skip the beat
Skip the beat
quintessential
chocolate
list.
Yep. If you're going to buy Skip the Beat, you're going to buy us chocolate to send in for the pod. It's going to be this flavour.
The one. Yep.
So I thought what we'd do is I've got 4 flavours today.
Yep.
And I thought if I do this week, these are 4 flavours that I would enjoy.
Yep.
And then next episode, so in 7 months'
I'll bring
time,
4 flavours.
if you can bring 4 flavours that you like that are different to these.
Yep.
And we just start going through. So
we're just going to have to work our way through the whole catalogue.
And then we'll have to somehow go back. The only thing is there's a couple of limited editions, so we don't know how we're going to do that. But
we'll just play that
the
by
aim of today is we're going to rate these 1 to 4.
Yep.
And see if we can agree on 1 to 4.
Yep. So just real quick, we'll just have a little nibble of each one.
Now, do you want to know the flavours before you bite into them?
Nah. I'm happy if you just hit me with something.
All right.
Are they all flavours I'll know?
Okay, try that.
Try
Do you want to do one block at a time and come back to it, or?
I won't be able to eat all that chocolate, so...
Okay. Just do one then. Okay.
That's delicious. That's an orange.
Okay, so that's an orange cream.
That's an orange cream. That's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically, I want to say that that's in my top 10.
See, you go out of the gate full.
I love an orange chocolate. It's right,
great. Yeah, it's good.
It's right up there.
Let's just do this. Sorry, I didn't want to put my fingers all over it.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is. I can't remember what it's called. It's like malt. Is that malt balls?
No, it's a... I actually can't remember the name of the thing. I'll come back to that. It's
you can't remember the 4 chocolates you've brought?
I thought it was... No, I've got confused. I thought it was a coconut one. It's not a coconut one.
Mm-mm.
It's a shortbread brisket, I think.
Mm.
I think I'll do a little runaway in a second, just check.
I love that people are listening to these noises too. So
yeah, it's good. So that one there, I would rate that under. It's good, but I'd rather the orange and cream.
100%.
Agree?
A million times over.
Okay, so then you can touch your own chocolate.
Yep.
What one was that?
You can have the other half of that.
Okay.
It's similar in texture to the shortbread. I haven't got any flavour yet.
One that hasn't got I think we got the top of it that didn't have a lot in it. It's the the Cadbury small little speckled eggs. Mm-hmm. It's that.
Oh.
That.
Speckled egg and chocolate, okay.
So I bought 2 of those blocks. I've eaten one over the last so many weeks since we decided to do this podcast 5 weeks ago.
And you had to buy another one.
No, I bought 2 because I knew I'd eat one. Mm-hmm. But that was, so I'd probably put that, because it is, you haven't had a good piece. I can't justify
No,
it.
I did towards the end. I got it.
So I would probably put that probably just below the orange.
Yeah, I'd
but see,
put that
this
in
is
the
the hard
middle.
thing because it's a limited edition. So I'd probably enjoy that more.
No, I'd still have the orange.
Okay, all right, I'd agree.
I think we're the same 3 out of 3 so far.
Okay, and this one here?
Yep. It looks like it's going to be delicious. I almost tasted that before I tasted it, just from that
good.
smell. What's it called?
So that's a raspberry.
But it's not a raspberry cream.
No. It's good though, isn't it?
I've never tasted that before
Either
in
have
my
I.
life.
It's a brand new one for me. It's a limited edition.
That's delicious.
Oh no, it's harder now.
Is that your top now? It's not my top.
No, I think the orange is still the winner.
That's number 2, though. So I'm going to go orange, raspberry, Cadbury mini eggs, and then whatever that shortbread rubbish was.
So orange, raspberry.
Maybe put limited edition next to it because there is the raspberry cream we'll have to try as well.
Limited edition.
the strawberry.
Speckled egg.
Speckled egg.
That's limited edition. And
Sure.
whatever it's called. I'll have to go on. I'll do a little run in a minute when you're telling. Maybe when you.
No, you don't have to do a run. That's fine. We know it's something shortbready.
We'll put it in on the. If you're watching the YouTube,
We'll make
it'll
a
flash
spreadsheet.
up on the.
We'll make a
on the screen.
spreadsheet at some point of
Yeah,
these
okay.
results.
All right.
So we're in agreement for those
Yeah,
four.
that's good. I agree with you.
There'll be
Yep.
definitely weeks where we're not in agreement, so we'll keep a together tally and a
There's
separate
at least
tally.
3 or 4 flavours that I just know that you would just. I'm like, it's just rot.
Yeah.
But it's good.
One of my top flavours is something that Matt might refuse to eat. So
No. I will do the courteous thing and I will try it.
Okay.
And we'll see if you
See if I reciprocate.
see if I'm professional enough. But yeah, Choccie Chat. Okay.
So that's round 1 of Choccie
Round one.
Chat.
Yep.
So easy 4, done.
Easy done.
Happy days. That was
Easy.
Some of these are going to come to blows, but that was a nice, gentle entry that you've given us into Choccie Chat. Something terrible's about to happen.
Choccie Chat into another section of the pod that we all look forward to and love. So this one, it's not music pun of the week anymore, folks. I think we changed it to season 3, so 2 episodes ago. It's just shit pun of the week now. And I hope you get this because you have to. This will only be for people
bad at
who
getting them. It's a lot of pressure.
people who only know this particular. I'll say I don't want to give too much away. Or this movie.
That's okay.
So how did Ace Ventura reply to the people who didn't like coffee?
I don't know.
All righty then.
Okay.
No? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I feel it's one of those ones where you have to write it out. So you see the all right and then the T spelled T.
I was looking very closely at your face
Alrighty then.
You did a good enunciation. Okay. I mean, that's
It's not the worst.
in terms of shit puns of the week. That's a shit pun of the
Hey,
week. So
it
yeah,
is.
it's met the brief. I'd say. Yeah. I reckon. Do you want to stay there and do something else?
From the pouch.
I'm just going to launch straight into From the Pouch.
Have another bit of chocolate.
Yeah, there's plenty there. Go for it. I turned up today and I said to Matt, oh, no, I don't have a From the Pouch. And then
it's orange and
for some
cream.
reason, just this one little thing just... Did you eat the orange one?
It's good.
Yeah, I'm jealous. It's really good. My bit's there waiting for me.
Need some carbonated water.
I didn't... drink. You can't wash that beautiful chocolate down with the devil's water. That's...
Needs to be carbonated. Don't care what it is.
talk. Crazy. Anyway, I was talking, but that's fine too.
Yeah, all good.
It's all good. I didn't have a pun of the week, but then this one just
Didn't have a
just
pun of the
popped into
week.
my head. Didn't have a pun of the week or a pouch of the week.
Or pouch of the week.
This is going well. We should take 8 weeks off more often. Drawing from the pouch this week is... I don't think we've talked about this before, which is what I always say every time I do a pouch of the week. From the pouch this week, I would like to... What would pouch of the week be like? Would we line up some pouches? Like that
fanny
pouch is,
packs?
that pouch is too shallow.
Bum
it's
bags?
no good.
Or like
yeah.
get actual kangaroos in
Yeah.
here.
That's totally the merch that Skip the Beat's getting. Bum bags with From the Pouch written on it. Bam.
Done.
That shit sells itself.
Yeah.
And I'm a roadie, so I know merch.
When we do our first live podcast.
Yes. Amazing.
Bum bags.
Yeah.
We'll do a VIP ticket where the VIP ticket automatically gets one included.
Yeah,
Done.
amazing. With just like a few little treats in it that you can draw from the pouch.
The orange chocolate.
Amazing. Love it. Anyway, all of that's far better than my actual from the pouch this week. From the pouch this week, I'd like to draw, and I thought about it because I bought this new bike. I bought a new bike, and it's really fancy and beautiful. And I wanted to draw the memory from the pouch of the time that you and my other dear friend Toby made me my dream bike. That is the memory that came into my head this week. I bought my first, I've been cycling ever since, pretty much since high school. And I bought my first really proper expensive road bike, I think when I was about 19. And I had that for years and years and years. And then, was it around my 30th birthday? Yeah. Matt and Toby took it and they got all the paint stripped off it and they put all new stuff on it and got a custom paint job with custom decals, and they had it for ages because it was quite a hard project. Like, the bike was old. It was really hard to get components off it to rebuild it.
We were told a few times it's probably not going to work, and we're like, well, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, just how we sanded it back and trying to get the right spray. And anyway, it was, we did it.
Yeah, and then they had it for a while, and then one day I just came home and it was just in my bedroom, just sitting there, this most beautiful bike. And I rode it for years after that.
Katie Marie 1.0.
Yeah, I had that bike. For like 20 years almost, I think. Yeah, I would have, because I didn't get my other... Yeah, I had that bike for a really long time. And so that was my memory that I thought of today. And on New Bike Week for me, it made me think of, of that time you and Toby did that.
Well, so it's good. It's bringing back a lot of memories. It's a long time ago, because I think I was... When was it? Was I still living at home? I know that it was living under my parents' barbecue for a long time, like in the storage area, just as a place, like a dry place to store it.
I was travelling a lot, so it would have been well over 12 months that it was somewhere in pieces, because I wasn't in Australia for a heap of time.
Sanding it was really hard because it had to be done properly, and all the little nooks and crannies, and try and get that silver, because the original bike was silver.
No, it was blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, we must have had a lot of... Was it all? Were you sure?
Yeah, it was like
In
blue
my
with
memory
red.
Well,
it ended up silver once. Once it was stripped back.
Yes, and then we found we wanted to get the right pink spray.
My favourite pink, Katie Wallace pink.
That metallic, bright, kind of sparkly pink. Toby and I found that. We sprayed that at his house, and then we found a decal company that was able to do the actual Katie Marie name in all the different sizes that we wanted for
all the different parts of the frame. Yeah.
And then I think it was Chain Gang that did it.
They did the final build.
Yes, they did. Yep. And then it was all good and well, and it was working. And I'm trying to remember. I think when we got in touch with Jeeves, and said we need to drop this round. And when you weren't there, so that it was just waiting. When you got home, it was just like, we didn't tell you it was happening. You'd already waited months and months and months.
I had no idea it was on the horizon because I just hadn't had a bike for ages. I mustn't have been doing heaps of riding because
kind of like what I'm doing now.
I don't remember it bothering me other than I think I might have been home and been like, I probably would like to get back into some cycling while I'm home,
which might have made us hurry
prompted
up.
But
so it's good from the pouch. That was a good bike. That was a good little project.
Yeah, it's just good. It just makes me remember when you have wonderful friends who do really, really special things for you.
Cool,
like, it was a really special gift. And I, to this day, probably owe you both a heap of money because, none of us had money, and it wouldn't have been, it would have been, they put new things on it everywhere. It was just, it's probably one of, if not the most special gift anyone has ever given me. It was
That's
just
a big call. But we only give each other presents every decade, so it's fine.
They got to be good, don't they? Oh, you got a big one coming up next year. I don't know what I'm going to do. Goodness me. That's from the pouch. That's what I wanted to draw from the pouch this week. I'll let you do that.
From the pouch. So you've got a couple of gigs coming up this week.
I do. Heavy end to the week.
So we'll hear about that in 4 or 5 weeks' time. So just remember them. No, I know we keep saying this. We've got to get back into a bit of a routine
Yeah.
with the
It's
old
less.
pod.
I think once you let too many weeks go by, it gets a bit scary to think about. Oh gosh, I've done too much. How are we going to shove it all in?
There's a few things I wish that I would have talked about that I know that I've thought about over the last month and a bit. Just like, that would be great to have on the pod. But,
Yeah.
Okay, so next episode we'll hear about the 3 gigs. We're going to have 4 new flavors of chocolate.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
We'll have another shit pun of the week.
Yeah.
It must be my turn for a from the pouch.
Must be. Maybe I'll do a shit pun of the week. Maybe I'll sneak one in.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't know. You don't know me.
You sent me a good one through the week, which was great.
What was it?
It was the
can't
one.
even
Well,
remember.
obviously we know it, so we can say it. It was the one with the what's the difference between a hippo and a zippo.
Oh yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
One's really heavy, one's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
It was cute, wasn't it?
It was great.
It was super cute.
It did have that kind of, not the Far Side. What's the type of cartoon? What's that cartoon with the little stick men?
I don't know what it's actually called, but yeah, little line drawing.
Little line drawing guys. Oh my gosh. Great chat. But that was like kind of animated. So
It
that
had an
made
animation
it better.
with it, yeah.
that helped.
Yeah.
It added
Yeah.
10% funny.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. I thought it was cute.
I did laugh. I laughed out loud. I chuckled.
Oh, good. Lovely.
Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have another episode live in the next probably 2 weeks.
I reckon I can do that.
Get back to bi-weekly. Is that how you say? Fortnightly.
Fortnightly.
Bi-weekly's twice a week, isn't it?
I think it can be either. That's why it's confusing.
Ooh, okay. Good chat. Weekly chat. Okay. On that note, you can follow us on the socials, which we're incredibly active on, and you can listen to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts:
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. Sorry, not Apple Music.
Wherever you're listening to it right now.
Yeah, wherever you listen to it right now, come back again.
Yeah.
Or hit follow, or give us. Oh, do we have any reviews? I haven't checked.
No, I haven't checked either. But it would be great if people want to send us through anything, any ideas. Loved that Skippy Sam wanted some Choccie Chat.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive deep into that and get to the bottom of this for you, Skippy Sam. Doing the research that no one else wants to do. That's what we're all about here.
It's scientific. It's for science.
Loosely based on music. But thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a great week, and we'll catch you when we do.
See ya.
Bye.